Mic test 1 2 1 2.
All right.
We are.
Man,
What's wrong, bro?
my computer freaks out if it has more than 4 things.
All right. Are you streaming it?
All
What are you
right,
streaming?
Brian, do you want to do the
Um,
intro?
all right, Brian, you do the. You
On
did
the
it last time.
that you have. I don't know if you were.
Wait. Hold up. Are you? Oh wait, there we go. The stream was not loading. All right.
The stream's still okay. There we go.
It is for me, yeah.
All right, everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
You recording, Nick?
Yeah.
Nick?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can you not hear me?
It's fine.
Can you say yes or
I'm
no?
saying yes.
I don't think Nick can talk with the fucking
You
things
don't
there.
hear me?
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm just.
Wait, Brian's doing it, but I thought Brian was just the host.
Yeah, I have to announce it.
Yeah, but you're on the wheel.
Oh, I don't know.
Wait, you're not picking?
Oh, I didn't mean to put Brian.
Yeah, sure, I will.
All right.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so we got four. Let's
No,
go.
Brian's
Let's go.
picking. Brian's picking.
Yeah, if we do, if we do 4, that makes more sense because it's divisible by 32.
Okay.
Well, there's only 31 this year.
Well, all right, we ready?
We can hear you a little bit, Nick. You need to put your. Let me put you up all the way.
What the
Can you
heck?
speak now? Speak.
I am.
Yeah, you're good.
Lol.
I
Oh,
just
wait.
put your
Okay,
up all the way.
no. Can you speak normally?
Well, I didn't. For a few minutes, you couldn't hear any.
If he's talking right now, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
All right. Spin it. All right.
All right.
We good?
Who wants to do
What?
the
No, we gotta
introduction?
have an intro.
Oh yeah.
Who wants the intro?
Brian, you do it. You did it last time.
Okay.
You can do it again.
All right, let me know when I'm ready to go.
Whatever you want.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2023 mock NFL draft.
Woo!
Oh.
We have 4 drafters today. We have myself, we have PG Money, we have John Cena for Smash, and we have I Am Pillows.
Uh-huh. Sir. All right, so I'll get it started. We're gonna spin for who's gonna get the first pick. All right.
Okay.
Drum roll. Drum roll. It is Nilo.
it's Nilo.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Perfect.
And before we
Perfect.
start, are we deciding trades or no trades?
I'm saying no trades. What do you guys say?
no trades.
No trades. No trades.
All right.
Perfect.
Yeah, that'll just be easy.
Perfect. Easy. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Let's go. So Nile.
And it's gonna be. All right. Listen, I think this is a very, very easy pick that the Chicago Bears make. I mean, I mean, what else do you need from here? He is, in my opinion, the best defensive prospect in the draft, and I am including off-field issues too. So, you know, he's a good person. He's fast and nimble. He's always aware of what's happening, and you truly never know where he's going to be. The only problem is he's very light for an edge at 243 pounds. However, I still think he can transition in the NFL smoothly. With the first pick, the Chicago Bears select Will Anderson Jr.
Oh, yeah, it's not a bad pick. If they trade down, maybe it changes. But if they keep the first, that has to be it.
Honestly, bro, I don't even think, like, even if they trade down, I don't think
No.
they're going to use Will Anderson. I feel like the Cardinals are going to take someone else, but we'll see.
Interesting. All right. So, what do you want to do? Just want to go this way?
Yeah.
Or this way?
Yeah.
So then, Nixie, you're next.
All right.
And then Patrick, then.
So I'm going Houston Texans, and I have to pick if I'm choosing who I think they should pick or who I think they will pick.
they will pick, not who they should pick, who they will pick. Because
All right. So Houston Texans, I don't know who they got. I think they just need someone who can, do their thing and stand out on his own. They don't need like a system QB. They need someone big who can make moves. And there's only one guy who fits that description. I think number 2, Texans pick Anthony Richardson off the board.
Wow.
I think they
Oh,
I
fall
did
for
not
that
have him
combine.
going
what
I think
a
they want the broad
what a
jump.
no.
They
No,
want the
I can
vertical.
see that.
I don't think
That's
that's a
not
good pick
bad.
for the Texans.
wow.
Me personally, I
the
had them
Texans
going
will
with
save
Bryce
him.
Young.
I hate
I
that.
had
pick.
them going with C.J. Stroud. In my opinion, the best
So
quarterback in the draft.
This can just
Yeah,
go
I think CJ Stroud will end up being better, but I think the Texans would select Bryce Young.
Nah, bro, they want to be safe. They don't want to, like, in my opinion, 9, dude. And, like, C.J. Stroud, in my opinion, is the safest quarterback in the draft. All right. Patrick, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
Yep. All right. So, I mean, at this point, barring any, legal action, I don't see the Cardinals not taking Jalen Carter. He possibly might be one of the best defensive line prospects in a few years. And, I mean, if he just doesn't get in trouble with the law, I think it's a no-brainer for the Cardinals to take him at 3 because they can't get any other value in that pick, any better of a player in that number 3 pick because, they don't need a QB. Obviously, Kyler Murray's hurt, but he'll be back. And I just think the best prospect on the board is what they're going to take. So, Jalen Carter to the Cardinals.
All right.
Perfect.
Very solid pick.
That's what I picked for them as well.
Next, coming up.
Very solid pick.
Indianapolis
All right.
Colts.
So, I am noticing a severe lack of quarterbacks being picked. And for
Ooh.
that reason, with a steal at number 4,
Oh,
the Indianapolis Colts are going to be getting Bryce Young out of Alabama. Now, Bryce Young ends the Indianapolis Colts' recent streak of having a carousel of old, retiring QBs going into their franchise. They finally have their man in Bryce Young. They're desperate for a face of their franchise, and he will pair very nicely with Jonathan Taylor. So for that reason, I'm taking the man who might not be the most polished QB in the class, but who I believe is the clear-cut QB1 in this class in Bryce Young.
I like that. One of us did our
Respectable.
research here.
Respectable.
Honestly, yeah. I don't agree.
Yeah.
That's a steal at 4, dude.
I don't think he'll fall that far, but
think-
obviously,
I honestly
without
think Bryce
trades,
Young is
that's-
I think he actually falls more. Like, I feel like the
Bryce
NFL. Yes,
I think Bryce Young goes 1.
I don't see that, man. All right.
Oh,
So the next pick and everything, bro. So the Seahawks originally were needing for a quarterback, but after they signed Geno Smith with that undeserving contract, it's true that they don't need that anymore, and they need defensive linemen. And it's pretty obvious who is the best defensive lineman / edge in this draft. I don't even have to say it. I mean, come on, bro. He's an athletic freak of nature. He can be so nimble and so powerful, and he's a tackling machine. It is a very safe pick, and it goes along with Pete Carroll, who is the defensive coach. I'm picking Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech.
nice. All right. And
Good
respect
pick.
Geno, by the way. Respect Geno.
He's not that guy.
Top 10
Not that-
quarterback last year.
Fraud season.
All right. Next, I'm doing the Detroit Lions. And Detroit's in an interesting spot because they might never get to this point or this high up in the draft again. Right now, at quarterback is Jared Goff. And if you're the Lions, you're starting to think about Super Bowl. Like, you're that close. So maybe you go quarterback here, but I think you build up that defense. You trust Jared Goff. We know he can win games. And maybe he might have some Matt Stafford type redemption. I don't know. But I go defense here, and I'm taking the best cornerback, in my opinion, from my analysis. 6'2", 201 pounds, sophomore, out of Oregon, Christian Gonzalez. I love
Oh.
this guy. I think he is
Dude.
a huge pickup for
Huge.
a weak Lions secondary. They need to
Mm.
take
And
him.
I gotta agree with you on that. I do think that he is the best corner in the draft. I just don't think Detroit would pick him.
What about Witherspoon, dude?
Dude, I looked at the tape, bro.
Evan Witherspoon. I have not seen his.
Gonzalez is better. Gonzalez is just better.
Yeah, I have Gonzalez going off the board first.
All right. I just think NFL teams will just get too infatuated with Witherspoon. All right, Patrick, your turn.
All right, so with the departure of Derek Carr to the Saints, at this point, I think it's a no-brainer. If this guy drops all the way down to 7, how would they not take him? I mean, 6'3", 215 pounds. From Ohio State, I'm going with C.J. Stroud. Now, C.J. Stroud is he has a lot of strengths. He doesn't just force checkdowns. He'll make some tough throws if he has to, and he can make those throws. But one of the problems that I find with him is that he really doesn't excel after his number one receiver. So if he can't throw to Devontae Adams, then it might get a little muddy out there with his accuracy, as he doesn't really go through his progressions well enough after that number one receiver. And he also doesn't use his legs as much as we would like him to. Obviously he can, but he hesitates for some reason. Maybe he's afraid to get hit. Maybe he's not confident in his speed. But overall, the strengths definitely outweigh the weaknesses. And if the Raiders can draft him at 7, then, I mean, it's a no-brainer to take C.J. Stroud.
Yeah. Another one
All
that I
right.
don't think he'll fall that far, but I like the
I also agree, and I think that it's a great pickup for them.
But I do disagree with your weaknesses about Stroud. I think he's undoubtedly the best quarterback and a generational QB.
Wow. Bomb.
Now,
You'll all see.
of quarterbacks going in the draft, the Falcons, with a surprising pick, will be taking Will Levis.
Don't.
Oh,
No.
bro.
They will be
Why?
taking Will Levis out of Kentucky. He's a Wildcat.
They have
And-
Desmond Ritter.
The Falcons
Desmond
do not
Ritter.
believe in
Just
Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter.
Desmond
There's
Ritter.
no
sucks.
way
No,
they
let
would
him
draft
cook.
Desmond Ritter
Desmond
What
sucks.
did he cook?
He has not cooked anything.
That is crazy.
Desmond Ritter has not cooked anything. And let me explain. Will Levis falling to 8 is one of the greatest disappointments in draft history, bro.
What?
He should be priority number 1 for many teams that are looking to rebuild in the quarterback position.
No way.
He has great size, he has arm talent, he has athletic ability, and I'll be honest, his game is not as polished as the other QBs that have been taken so far.
Yeah.
But I believe that he's worth the gamble for this Falcons team. I say that the Falcons draft Will Levis and that they trade Desmond Ritter to another QB-hungry team for picks in the 2nd or 3rd round.
That is crazy.
Will Levis.
I respect it, but at the same time, man, the Falcons are not that franchise to give up a QB after a half season.
Desmond Ritter looked terrible last year.
Listen, if they can get Will Levis, I think they might give up on him.
Also, I disagree with you about your Will Levis take. He's going to be probably the biggest bust.
I
in the
said
NFL
I
history.
said he'll be
Yeah.
Do
Sam
you
Bradford.
believe so? Listen, I might have been a little overzealous saying that it was one of the greatest draft disappointments for him to go this far down, but he's an extremely good quarterback that will not go that far.
Okay.
Although I will admit that he is a little old. So,
Listen,
that
so
might be into it.
Brian actually took my pick. I thought Will Levis was going to go down to the Panthers, so I'm kind of a little fucked here. So I'm thinking, what
Panthers
should I
are
do?
fucked too. It's got to be
Yeah,
such a
they're
big
just-
disappointment
No,
if they can't get a quarterback at
If they
9.
can't get a quarterback. I honestly don't. I don't think that'll happen in the draft, but you never know. So to this, I'm looking at what's available for the Panthers right now. They need a lot of shit to be fixed, man. Obviously they need a quarterback. So I'm looking at the edges and everything to see what's the best edge that we have, and obviously already picked Tyree Wilson for them. And so I have 2 picks right here. They can go with Kalijah Kancey, in my opinion, very underrated prospect that is very compares to Aaron Donald, or they go with their offensive lineman Peter Skoronski, which I think is not a bad idea. but at the same time, I'm just like, do they really need him? Especially since, if I'm not mistaken, the Panthers have 2 draft picks in this, right?
9.
I
They have 9 and
believe that you're
39.
correct.
No. Never mind. But at the same time, I do think that like the Panthers, they're probably going to trade in another thing. So I don't think they're wearing Skaronski. I'm thinking they're going with the best defensive interior right now. And I think it'd be a very solid Pro Bowler in the coming years. I'm taking Kalijah Cansey from Pittsburgh.
I don't hate that.
Mm.
All right. And next up, me for the Philadelphia Eagles. Pro Football Focus says they need a wide receiver. I don't know why. They need a slot. You can probably find a slot in the 3rd round.
A wide receiver,
5th round.
crazy. Why do we need one?
People have been saying Bijan Robinson. No, definitely not at 10. I think this is simple. We saw what happened in that Super Bowl. Jonathan Gannon, his reign of terror over Philadelphia is over. We might be losing some key pieces in the backfield, so we're going to need to, build that back up. And there's only one choice for me. It's got to be cornerback, and I'm going with the hometown kid, Joey Porter Jr.
No!
from Penn State. I
That's
love
crazy.
this guy.
You
I
had
think he is
2 others that were
great.
better.
NFL
He
history.
is going
You
to be
had
a
2
great press
others that were
cornerback.
better.
He doesn't.
Brian
He's a
Branch was
grabber.
right there.
He gets those holding, and we know with James Bradbury, he got that holding. So he might
Brian
have to
Branch.
fix that.
Witherspoon's still there.
I don't know.
Witherspoon, I think Witherspoon's a little overrated, but
Again,
I'll
Penn
take
State
but
didn't
Brian
mind.
Branch. But Brian Branch, man, he was right there. Like, a lot of Eagles fans want him too. I understand Joey Porter's from Penn State, but I don't know, man.
Maybe because C.J. Gardner Johnson's leaving, but I don't know. I like Porter from what I saw. I like Porter the best.
This one should be, this one should be. All right.
Okay. Tennessee Titans, obviously a dysfunctional organization. They just put Derrick Henry on the trading block, so we'll see what happens with that. He may get traded, he may not get traded. But I still don't see them selecting Bijan Robinson at 11. I think it's just too high to draft a running back, even if he's a really good prospect. To be honest, I mean, Ryan Tannehill's on the downfall. They traded away A.J. Brown last draft, and it didn't pay off whatsoever. So I'm going to have them investing in another wide receiver. And I think it's going to be Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Ooh.
Now, Jackson Smith-Njigba will be perfect for Ryan Tannehill because he doesn't have to go strong arm all the time, as he can play in the slot if he wants, and he can also run those deep routes that he needs to. So the problem with him is that in 2021, during the last about 5 games of that season, he averaged almost 200 yards receiving per game. But this past season, he's been injured a lot and didn't really have that same production that he had in 2021. And we don't really have a multiple season outlook on what his career could look like. As in college even, he's really just a one-season wonder, and we'll see how that translates to the NFL. But other than that, the only other weakness I can see is that he doesn't generate a lot of separation that you would like from a receiver like him, but that shouldn't matter with his great catching ability. So overall, I think the Titans would get a really good wide receiver at 11.
Yeah.
I like the pick. But the thing is, though, I think they would take a tackle. Because they got Ryan Tannehill throwing the ball. All right.
Now that you've taken a wide receiver, I'm going to one-up you in this class by taking who I believe is the best wide receiver in this class, despite a bad combine performance. I'm, of course, talking about Jordan Addison out of USC.
Oh.
There is no way. Quentin Johnston, bro. Zay Flowers. I don't know.
For the Texans, I believe that Brandon Cooks is going to be moved in the offseason. I believe that Brandon Cooks is not happy and that he wants out and that the Houston Texans will allow that. And they're going to build around this young wide receiver and the quarterback that they picked previously in the draft.
Anthony Richardson.
He's great with route running. He has great speed. He's good at tracking the ball. He's one of the best pass catchers in college football right now. Not even talking just his class in general. I believe that he has the ability to be a generational talent and that the Houston Texans get a good wide receiver at 12.
Interesting. I like
I
it.
That's a
I
surprising
think
pick.
there's
Surprising
better
pick.
receivers, man. I think there's better receivers. Okay, well, it's obvious to everyone here that the Jets, I think somehow, some way, they're getting Aaron Rodgers. I think they're getting Aaron Rodgers, so
Yeah.
fuck the QBs for now. They don't really need the QBs. They need an offensive line, though. Why not get the best offensive lineman right now? I don't even need to say it. If you made a lab and put out the best offensive lineman, this man would come out of there. I think he is a Pro Bowl offensive lineman. I'm talking about Peter Skoronsky.
Great pick. Great pick.
I like it. All right, so that's me. New England Patriots. I mean, what can you say about New England? They've been a winning franchise for a while. They've been stumbling a little bit. Mac Jones at the helm, but you still got Bill Belichick, and I believe that he can create the next great Patriots defense. They just need one big piece to, put it all together. I think it's obvious. You go for the edge here. You go best player off the board. Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa.
Interesting.
I like this guy.
I guess.
Yes.
I think I would take a receiver, but respect.
Maybe. I don't know.
All right.
All right. Green Bay Packers. I'm torn on this because I believe that there are two very good prospects that they could go with, and because Quentin Johnson is still on the board, I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards him over Brian Branch. I was gonna go Brian Branch because I mean they got Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage back there at their safeties. I think adding Brian Branch back there would just elevate the defense to a whole nother level. But there's a chance that Aaron Rodgers leaves, and their receiving core is not good right now. Not good. So in order to help Jordan Love, I think I would go with Quentin Johnston, wide receiver from TCU.
Respect.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
good.
so looking at my pick for the Washington Commanders, I'm thinking that they have to focus on linebackers, offensive line, and cornerbacks this draft. And since he's sitting up there and he's fallen way down, and I've been talking him up the entire time, I am taking Devon Witherspoon.
Ooh.
Yeah, that is true. He did fall a lot.
Is a great cornerback, man. He is fun to watch. He hardly ever misses a tackle. The one thing that I could say that he could improve on is having his hand placement a little bit better while in coverage so that he gets more interceptions. He only had 7 as a senior. But I truly believe that he could go down, if this is the true draft, as one of the greatest steals in NFL draft history. This is insane that he's gone down this low, and the Washington Commanders will have real football back again.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, they did need to take a corner, and Devon Witherspoon did fall.
Who
That
does they
hard.
have right now at corner?
Okay. This one,
Some draft big boards do have Devon Witherspoon dropping this far. By the way.
I do, but I'm not dropping until the
I wouldn't drop till 16.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Okay, anyway, this one, again, particularly easy. Steelers fans have been crying like they do all the time because they are bitches. I do not like Steelers fans. I don't want to be a Steelers fan. If you're a Steelers fan, I don't like you. Fuck you, Austin Leslie. For the 17th pick, the Steelers are going to pick Paris Johnson Jr. Easy offensive line help. What else do you need? Best tackle on the board right now. Nothing else you want.
All right. I like it. So that's me for the Detroit Lions. I'm picking for him again. This is my second pick. Last time I went Christian Gonzalez, my favorite cornerback out of the draft. So now I'm thinking, I think we need a D lineman right here. And looking at my big board right now, I think an easy one is Brian Brees out of Clemson. He is a beast. He's an absolute monster. Physically and just intangibles, I think he's going to elevate that Lions defense, and they're going to be a problem next season.
Okay.
I am falling down, bro. I can't even lie.
All right. I say it's a solid pick.
He's good. All right.
All right, now Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, they need a lot. Obviously, Tom Brady retired, but there's reports out there that he might unretire, but then he was like, "Nah, I'm staying retired." So I don't know what the fuck's happening. But anyway, I think one of my favorite prospects in the draft that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should invest in is Miles Murphy out of
Ooh.
Clemson. Miles Murphy is 6'5", 268 as an edge rusher. All right. This dude is already ready for the NFL. He doesn't even have to get in the weight room. He can go out first game, not lift a single weight, and he is ready to play against the big dogs. Right? This man has a great spin move. This man has a great lateral burst. Right? He has great steps. He has full stamina. This man will go an entire game still with that tank full of gas. The only weakness, he doesn't really have a plan when he's beating tackles. I mean, he doesn't really, have anything in his bag to tackle someone. And he also doesn't really have an inside counter. So those things can be worked on. That's why you're going to the NFL, so you can improve to make you the best you possibly can be. But if Miles Murphy drops to 19, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to pick him. They have to pick him.
I like that.
Okay. Okay.
Clemson guys.
All right.
Back to back.
All right. So now moving on to my pick for the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks have 5 picks that fall within the top 100 this draft. So they have a lot of draft capital. Obviously, their needs, guard, center, defensive lineman. With that being said, those can all be picked in different times because Brian Branch is still on the board. I am selecting Brian Branch from the Crimson Tide. Brian Branch, safety, will be an extremely versatile safety for the Seattle Seahawks, who have a need there despite it not being listed on the website. I think that the Seattle Seahawks have a lot of needs this draft. One notable exception to that is quarterback, now that they've signed Geno Smith, like Niall said. And I personally believe that Brian Branch is a safety that will really come into the NFL, and I think that it will take him maybe a year or two to get his footing, but then he will thrive.
I don't know.
So I think that even though they have needs on both ends of the football and they can use many other positions, that Brian Branch will be a versatile player.
I mean, I respect that, but he has to.
Not to cut you off, but Brian Branch has been known to also play a little bit of nickel. So,
I mean, dude, that's hard. I mean, the secondary for Seattle is not bad. I mean, Brian Branch has to beat out, who is it, bro? Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, Tariq Woolen, and Mike Jackson. I don't know about that, but, I trust you.
I think he definitely can, but I can respect your complaint.
Okay. Chargers, easy. I'm getting a lot of offensive line meeting over here. Wide receiver, not really. A lot of good wide receivers right now that they truly need to get. It's a very obvious pick. I don't even have to say it. Nick C, pick it for me.
Anton Harrison?
Yes.
All right.
What else? I'm shocked he's even dropped this low. Yes, Anton Harrison.
All right, nice. So I'm going for the Ravens, and I mean we don't know what's going on with Lamar right now. If you let him go, blow everything up. I mean that team is built around him, and if he's not there, what do they have? So this is assuming he stays. I think you need to help that defense, and I want a freak athlete in Baltimore. This guy is a small. I mean, this draft just has no shortage of small people. You got Bryce Young, Kalijah Kancey, and this guy, he blew up the combine. He tore it apart. He ate it for dinner, stuffed it like a turkey. Nolan Smith. I want him in Baltimore.
Wow.
That's my pick.
Good pick.
I can't believe you dropped that far, man.
Yeah. I would have liked him at the Chargers, to be honest.
I would have put him at the Bucks, to be honest.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm happy you took Nolan Smith because for the Vikings, I'm going with Deonte Banks, cornerback from Maryland. I thought you were going to go with him because, close to Baltimore, they'd have that little connection right there. Mm-hmm. But Deonte Banks going to the Vikings will really help that trash-ass defense that they have down there. I mean, and only
It is trash.
he's 6 foot 197. That's pretty big for a cornerback, and he runs a 4.35 40-yard dash with a 42-inch vertical jump. I mean, this man sounds like a freak athlete, and you could see it in this play last year. I mean, his strengths. He has played in a wide variety of coverages, right? Obviously, his size and length is a really big plus here. He's good at staying on the route, following that receiver, not falling behind. But then again, one of his weaknesses is when he does fall behind, he tends to panic trying to get back into the play, and that's never good with a man just out there running like a headless chicken, trying to get back to his man. He also doesn't really play with confidence when his back's to the ball, but that's also something that can be fixed as he is still very young. Overall, I think the Vikings need more defenders to help with their offense. I mean, they lost to the Giants in the playoffs. The Giants, really? Like, improve your defense, man. That's all you need to do.
All right. I respect that pick. And now I'm drafting for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with my pick, I'm going to be taking tight end Dalton Kincaid.
Ooh.
You have Evan Engram.
Oh, wait.
He's staying with
I
them.
agree with this pick.
Listen. Evan Ingram may leave this offseason.
No,
All right.
I just searched it up right now. Evan Engram said that he's willing to stay. No, not willing. He is staying with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
On the
Jonathan
franchise.
Gannon said
He's
he
on a
was staying.
franchise tag.
Is he on
Franchise
is
tag.
it restricted or unrestricted?
No, but I mean, he's only for one season. If they don't pay him after this season, then they're going to have their tight end.
I didn't know that he was going to stay, though.
First round, though, like a first round pick on this tight end. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree with Niall. I got to take that back.
Oh.
I got to rewind that.
another
okay.
player you could pick.
Okay. You know what? We're going to still do another offensive weapon that can help Trevor Lawrence develop. Give me Zay Flowers out of Boston.
Oh. That is
Zay
interesting.
Flowers, a man whose name is fun to say
Like Zay
and who comes out of Boston. He is 5'10". Again, no shortage of small players in this draft. He's 172 pounds. He's a little bit of a lightweight. He reminds you a little bit of Devontae Smith. He has a little bit of Devontae Smith in his game. And I believe that having another wide receiver, along with Evan Ingram and a few more offensive weapons later on in the draft, such as offensive linemen, will really continue to help Trevor Lawrence succeed in his role and hopefully make him more of a pocket passer, as I didn't like last season how much he did not stay in the pocket.
Interesting.
That is
Interesting.
interesting.
that is my pick.
They'll have a three-headed beast of Flowers, Kirk, and Calvin Ridley if he comes back to form. That would
Exactly.
be scary.
That would be scary.
That would help a lot. Okay, for me and everything, bro, it's obvious again. Daniel Jones has a, let's say, shit for brains as tight end, as we like to say. Daniel Bellinger. Who the fuck is he? No one knows, and no one gives a shit. So he has to go with, obviously, the best tight end in the draft. Not Michael Mayer, not Josh Downs. Go up, Dalton Kincaid? I don't know. But he's the best player here right now. What else do you want? What more do you want from him? He is what you call just the perfect tight end. And, I think he's just perfect and everything. They can obviously build muscle mass with him, but yeah. Give it Dalton Kincaid. Or Kincaid, I don't know.
All right. So that leaves me. Dallas Cowboys. They got Dak, Tony Pollard on the franchise tag. If they didn't do that, I think this pick is obvious. But, what do the Cowboys need? When I was watching the tape, this guy stood out as he just screamed cowboy to me. It might be a little bit of a reach, but this far down the draft, you can kind of pick into the second round talent. I like Mozzie Smith out of Michigan.
Okay.
I'm sorry that that's a miss. I just don't see that, bro.
What's your tape? Show your tape.
Mozzie Smith, he's a second round guy who had better wide receivers, you had better defensive players right
Don't
there.
they have
I don't.
CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper?
I know Cooper left, bro. He's on the Browns now.
When? Ah, shoot.
Anyway, Patrick, you go.
All right. So many people would love the Bills to take Bijan Robinson, right? But the Bills might not get a deal done with Tremaine Edmonds this offseason, and that's a big hole in their defense that they're going to need to fill. And what better way to fill it than with Drew Sanders from Arkansas?
Mm.
Now, Drew Sanders is a direct comparison to Tremaine Edmonds coming right out of college. I mean, this man can play in Sam, Mike, or he can rush the passer. He's a very versatile linebacker. He is really good at playmaking. He makes explosive plays. He can be a linebacker in coverage or an outside rusher, rushing the quarterback. He manages to beat tackles really well around the edge. He's really good at just getting things done on defense. All right, he can get things done. Now, the only problem that we have with Drew Sanders is that he's only been a starter for 1 year, right? But in that 1 year, he's been really good.
Nick just
So I think he'll fill that Tremaine Edmonds role if they don't re-sign him, and I think he'll be really good for the Bills.
That is an interesting pick.
Okay.
certainly a pick. I'll feel you though.
I think he was picked a little high, but I can respect it. Now, fans, I'm speaking to you when I say this. This is my last pick of the video.
Oh.
All right. This is the final time I'm going to be able to have a pick,
Dang.
and I'm planning on going out with a bang.
Don't do it.
A
Don't.
man who has been sitting here since the beginning and should have gone within the top 20. I am taking Broderick Jones,
Okay, thank
offensive
God.
tackle out of Georgia.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dog thought it was
Best
going
tackle
Bijan
in the
Robinson,
draft.
right?
It definitely won't be that easy for the Bengals, but yeah.
The best offensive tackle in general in the draft falls to the Bengals. I mean, he is what, 6'5", 6'6"? I don't even remember. He is tall though. He is how tall is he?
6'4".
How tall is he? He is 6'4", 320 or 310, dude. He is a powerful player in the run game, and I believe that he will be a day one starter for the Bengals. Will come in, make an immediate difference, give Joe Mixon even more room. And I believe that personally, as my final pick, that this was a masterclass by me.
Well, I mean,
Joe
if Joe
Burrow
Mixon
will
isn't
definitely-
proven shooting
definitely
kids,
dead.
Oh, I kind of forgot about that.
No. That story's a little fabricated. He's fine.
Anyway, either way, whatever running back goes in there, they will be happy to have Broderick Jones.
I am in a dilemma right now.
Ooh.
I have two obvious picks here for the Saints.
Ooh.
You either get Michael Mayer or you get Will McDonald. I genuinely don't know which one to pick. I mean, shit. Michael Mayer is a good tight end and everything, but the problem is you have James Winston throwing to him. And, Jawan Johnson. He's
No.
obviously not the tight
Jameis
end.
Winston.
Derek Carr.
No, they have Derek
Oh, sorry,
Carr.
Derek Carr. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. That makes it even better. So you got to surround Carr with, this good talent because you don't want Jawan Jameson as your tight end. Who the hell is he? Sorry, Jawan Johnson. I even like messing up his name. However, and Derek Carr throws the tight end a lot. Just ask Darren Waller. However, their defense needs to get better. And, Will McDonald can be that guy. In fact, in my original mock draft, I did have the Saints picking Will McDonald. However, they also didn't have Michael Mayer. I think that's his name. Yeah, Michael Mayer falling down this far. So it's going to be a tough decision. But I think you had to think offensively here. And you can pick up defensive signings in the offseason / other rounds of the draft. I'm going to go with Michael Mayer, tight end out of Notre Dame.
Nice.
And that's my last pick, obviously.
Good pick.
All right. Everyone close to my camp, all my sources know that I've been putting a lot of controversial statements about the Philadelphia Eagles and Bijan Robinson. I see mock drafts putting him 10th. I think I already said this. But I mean, this is an easier catch than like Quez Watkins could catch this. Bijan
That
Robinson
makes sense.
falls to 30, one of the best running back prospects in a long time. I think you got a 50-50 with Gainwell. Like that if Miles Sanders is out, Gainwell's the guy. He's going to be fine, but if you put Bijan Robinson with the running threat of Jalen Hurts and you've still got Dallas Goddard, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, once again, this Philadelphia Eagles offense will be legendary. I mean, I don't know what to say. Bijan Robinson to the Eagles. Super Bowl 2024. If they get this.
All right, so last pick in the draft, the Kansas City Chiefs. Coming off the Super Bowl win, I don't think they're going to keep this pick in real life. I think they might trade down a bit, get a little bit more draft capital later on because they don't really need any of these players. But I'm going to be, taking a pretty, I'd say, controversial pick because Will McDonald is still here. But I'm going to go with Josh Downs
Okay, good.
out of North Carolina, 5'9" slot receiver. And I just think that the Chiefs want to build up their receivers. I think they should build up their receivers. I mean, after what we saw in the Super Bowl, I mean, Jonathan Gannon was the real reason the receivers were any good. I mean, let's be honest. But I mean, he's a great slot corner, really fast. The only problems he has is that his build isn't good for working over the middle. And if you have a physical corner playing on one side, then maybe he won't be able to get past the press. But overall, I mean, there's like they say his comparison is Kadarius Toney. No, bro, not Kadarius Toney, bro. Like, I think he's going to be better than Kadarius Toney, to be honest. I think he has a great, developmental period if he plays with Patrick Mahomes, and I think it'll, bolster that receiving core a lot more if they pick him.
Okay. I like that pick.
All right.
So that
That's a
concludes
nice one.
our 2023 NFL mock draft. This is going to be every year. And, I mean, draft in 50 days, I think. Something like that. So,
20. No, you're right. 50, 50,
yeah,
50.
exactly 50 days, I'm pretty sure. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you tell us what you think. Send us your mock drafts. How accurate were our picks? Were there any reaches? Were there any falls that you didn't like? But, just let us know. There was one guy who commented on our NBA mock draft saying we don't know ball. But let me just tell you, this group is some of the best scouts in Chester Village.
Kings.
Chester Village. Chester Village, California. So, we know ball. That's all I gotta say. See ya from Chester
See ya.
Village. Have a good night.